Welcome to the Financial Doctor Show.
Hi, hello, welcome to the Financial Doctor Show. I'm Nik, your financial doctor. Hi, tonight I have with me a special guest, chartered accountant, Miss Joan Ong, and someone who has also been helping me with my tax with a lot of insights. Okay, so tonight Miss Joan Ong is going to share with us, okay, her experience as a taxpayer and what are the insights that she has to share with us on tax. But before that, okay, Joan.
Hello, Nick.
Yes. Welcome to
Good
the show.
evening
And
to you.
please tell me about yourself.
Thanks for this opportunity, first of
My
all.
pleasure.
Yeah, basically, as what you have introduced me to be, I'm an accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm here to share with everyone what are the experience that I go through as also a taxpayer myself. You know, every year I also have to submit my taxes. So yeah, I'm
Yes.
here to share some insights with all of you.
Fantastic. Okay, Joan. Actually, this show, the Financial Doctor Show, the purpose and the objective of this show is basically to share with all Malaysians out there about full financial planning. And as you know, part of a full financial planning is also tax. How we can actually maximize our relief, how we can actually follow and pay the tax, but where we can actually reduce, not try to evade, but we are actually be to make sure that we maximize all the relief that is available out there. Okay, so that's the reason why we have this show, to create awareness about full financial planning and also the service of an independent licensed financial planner. All right, so before we go ahead with the show, let's take 1 minute, okay, for us to share this show onto our personal Facebook. Okay, because this show is on Wealth Vantage Advisory Facebook, so I want to share this on my personal Facebook. Maybe you want to do the same, Joan. You can also use the one that Kai has given on the
Sure.
link. Okay. All right. Okay, great. So, yes, it is an honor to have you, Joan, on the show tonight. Okay, so before we go on the full details of tax and you tonight, so maybe my audience out there would like to know more about Joan. So we're going to start with some light questions to get to know Miss Joan better. Okay, so Joan,
Sure.
what is your passion in work in this industry as a chartered accountant?
Well, I guess like what Nick says, right? In terms of financial planning, it's a whole long process that sometimes you have to start with a proper accounting record, right? Yeah,
Correct.
so I'm sure most of your clients, they need to keep proper records, calculate their profits and their income before you can even do any financial planning with them.
So is that the reason why you're passionate about this work?
And then other than that, of course, it's part of the whole process that actually
Okay.
at the end of the process, it meets the financial planning targets of your client, and of course some to assist them to meet their yearly obligation as well. Because without a proper set of accounts, you can't really go on. That's
Okay.
my take.
I
And
guess.
I'm very
Okay.
passionate about being part of this process.
Maybe I should share with the audience. Okay. I've known Joan for quite some time. For your information, Joan's father is also a chartered accountant. So I
Yeah, it's
guess
all in the family.
it's all in the family. That's why she's so passionate about this work. So did you used to hang out at your dad's firm before when you were
Yes,
small?
definitely. I remember, back in school when you are asked to write what is your ambition, I actually wrote to become
Accountant.
an accountant.
Seriously?
So I was like, but I have no idea what is an accountant is, what an accountant is at that time. Yeah, I only know, oh, my grandfather is an accountant, my father is an accountant, so I also
Oh,
want to be an
your
accountant.
grandfather was also an
Yeah.
accountant. Oh my
Yes,
God.
long
Wow.
time ago.
So you
But
are
back in
actually,
those days, a very traditional
yeah.
accountancy.
So you're the third
Yeah.
generation.
Yes.
I think what you told me just now, your daughter, she's going to become an accountant too. Believe me. Okay, so apart from work, what is your hobby, Joan?
Well, actually, I love music. Yeah, I
Okay.
used to play a lot of music.
Do you play any
So,
instrument?
yeah. I used to be in a school band.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
So
And
what
then I
instrument
play
do you
some
play?
instruments. Used to play a saxophone, a flute,
Wow,
yeah, and also some brass instrument. But at home, I
wow,
play piano.
I
Yeah.
see.
So
Oh,
music is
saxophone, that,
also one
oh,
thing.
amazing. Wow, you have never, I never knew that part of you, okay, that you're able to
Oh,
play music. Fantastic. Okay, Joan, what is the
no
one
problem.
fun fact that others do not know about you?
What others do not know about me must be kept a
Yeah.
secret, isn't it, Nick?
No, a fun fact.
Some fun fact, yeah. But
Yeah.
basically, I'm a fun-filled person and nothing much. That's
Mm,
all. How
maybe
about
the fun.
yourself?
Okay, a fun fact about me, I love to cook. Okay, but
Ah,
maybe people know already on my posting about on my
yeah.
Facebook and Instagram about my cooking. But that's I'm very passionate about, and actually I wanted to become a chef. Okay, so at
Mm.
that after my SPM, I told my mother that I would like to take culinary art, but my mother said, "No, I don't think so. That would be a good future for you."
That sounds
Then that really
familiar.
put me off. But if I wanted to turn back the clock, yeah, I wish I could become one. You see, because you see where Chef One now is. I mean, he has brought culinary in Malaysia to a place where people actually appreciate being a chef. Okay, uh, what is your favorite quote, Joan?
Favorite quote. I guess
Yeah.
I want to stick to this since I started working. It's
Mhm.
fail to plan, plan to fail.
Oh,
So it's
very
all about
fancy.
planning.
Yes.
And I guess, Nick, you are one of the master planner by now.
Yeah, I think that is part and parcel of. I think fail to plan, plan to fail is part and parcel of everything that we do in life actually.
Everything,
So what
everything.
our job actually assist or expedite people in planning. But if you do not have that mindset itself to plan, then yeah, you just plan to fail lah. Wow,
Oh, yeah.
that's a good quote, Joan. Okay. Yeah. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food. We are all Malaysians, right? We don't have
Yes.
really one particular favorite food, but all the type of Malaysian food is favorites to us lah. Chao kway teow is one of them.
Wow.
Nasi lemak,
But
all time Malaysian food
Char Kway Teow has a lot of version. Okay, I always prefer
version.
the Chinese version, the dry one. I don't like the wet Char Kway Teow like the Malay likes to make. I don't like. I like the dry one, and I used to
Ada
eat
kway
before.
teow basah and kway teow goreng
Yeah,
basah. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. Ada
But
normally
that is
if you,
also nice, you know. It's also nice.
I've tried, but not to my. I prefer the dry one. That I used
Okay.
to eat at this one Chinese store in Tama Complex those days when I was studying. Oh,
Mm.
splendid,
Mm.
but the
Not there
store
anymore.
is not there anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's
Right.
about Joan. I think nice knowing Joan who can play music and who loves this quote, fail to plan, plan to fail. So now let's go to the gist of today's topic, tax and you. Okay, so the first question, okay, Joan, um, how much tax relief that one person is entitled to?
How much tax relief, right? Actually, it's
Yeah,
a whole list of them, Nick.
wow.
Maybe we can share the
All
list.
right. Okay, can Kai, can you share the list? Okay, audience, you may
Yeah.
want to look at this closely. What are the tax relief? So I have my producer here, Miss Kyria, to assist to share with us what are the tax relief. So Joan, can you take
Yeah.
us through?
One big list of them. And first of
Exactly.
all, like what we mentioned earlier, we
Yeah.
really have to plan ahead. And
Correct.
how do we plan ahead? We must have a set of checklists, right, Nick? So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess, like what I usually do every year, as a
Yeah.
taxpayer, like I said, I will
Mm.
definitely go online to download a list like this.
Okay. So where can you
Yeah.
download this list? Lembaga
On
Hasil.
Lembaga Hasil, but this is 2021. It's not yet available on the Lembaga Hasil website yet.
I
Yeah,
see.
the previous years are all there, but this
Uh-huh.
one is for year 2021. You can just type in on Google and said, tax relief 2021 Malaysia, then all
Oh,
this will pop out.
okay. Must write
Yeah.
Malaysia. If not, come out, some other country.
Singapore, Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, tax relief 2021 Malaysia. If you want 2022 Malaysia, right? So this is for year 2021 and we have one more month to go lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's still a little bit of time left for us to do some minor planning.
Okay. So what are the main things that you would like to highlight from this list? I think it's a long list, right?
Okay. So first of all, this list, please use it like a checklist and get familiarized with it. You must be familiar with it so that once you get used to it, every year there's slight changes and updates, additions to this list lah. Okay.
All right.
So
There's one
it's
thing that
actually a long list, yeah, Nick?
it is. There's one thing that people always ask me about SSPN.
The scheme
Okay.
simpanan.
That one we get about 8,000, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but if you are married, you husband can also claim the 8,000, provided you put in 8,000. The wife also can claim 8,000.
This is a savings plan for your child, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's why this, you can say deposit for child in scheme simpanan pendidikan. Okay, established under the government lah for you to
Yeah.
save for your child. So you're entitled 8,000. Okay. So it's a
Individually.
maximum relief. Let's say you save 15,000 or you save 1,000 a month, 12,000, you are only entitled to 8,000. So let's say husband and wife only save for one child, 12,000. So obviously either want to claim lah. Yeah, but if
Oh,
husband also 12,000, wife also save 12,000, then you can separately claim.
each can
Because
claim
yeah,
8,000.
if you really invest in that savings,
Yalah. But just now, like say 12,000,
not
then
just
you.
one child lah. Maybe you have two child, then one husband and one wife.
But if it's only one child, okay, then the husband put 6,000, the wife put 6,000. So each of them can claim 6,000, right?
Yes.
So that's the point which I'm trying to make lah. There's always a confusion that people do not know
Yeah, there's
that they
quite
thought.
a number of confusion in this list when you just read it like that. Then of course you have to familiarize with it. Like I said, if you're not, then you have to ask further question or seek clarification on this
Correct,
list.
correct.
Yeah,
That is the whole
basically
idea
there
of
really
the
is
show.
not enough time to run through everything on this
Correct,
list.
correct. I agree. But
Yeah.
there's one question which I always get about it. Okay, so these are the tax relief that everyone can refer to, all right? But like what Joan said, sometimes when you read this tax relief also, you will be like, what does it
Scratching the
mean?
head sometimes.
Okay.
Can I do
And then,
this? Can I do that?
that's why. So that's one question about the SSPN that I always get every year in, year out. People, I will tell them,
Well,
have you done it?
one rule of thumb that you can follow. One rule of thumb: just be fair. Yeah, the fairness of this tax relief. Yeah. So
Yes.
you cannot be like if you have one child. Let's say for the kindergarten fees. Yeah, if you have a child less than 6 years or younger, you can claim the tax relief for their kindergarten or childcare fees, right?
Yeah.
You have only one child and you're paying the same amount. You only pay, let's say, 10,000 a year if you're sending your child for expensive childcare services. So to be honest, takkan lah you go and claim two sides. Yeah, so it's only 3,000 they said for a child. So it's only fair that they are giving you per child basis.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is fair. I think this is
When you
something
think
which,
about the fairness and apply it to this
yeah,
list, then it's easier to understand.
correct, correct. But different like the SSPN, it is fair because it is for the tertiary education, right? And let's say if the husband put in 8,000, the husband can claim 8,000. If the wife put 8,000, then the wife also can claim 8,000, even on
Then
the same
you
child.
call that fair lah, yeah.
I see.
But
Okay.
like it
Right.
says the childcare is 3,000 maximum per child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is where I think seriously you need to talk to someone who are experienced about this, how to interpret this to your best apa nama to your best interest lah. Because if you sometimes assume, I think that is where you might get it wrong, okay, and you do not want to get into trouble later.
Yeah, sometimes there's also gray area here and there, yes. But we have to interpret it, like I said, think of the fairness. If you're the lembaga hasil dalam negeri, what will you allow? It's based on fairness and equality. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so audience out there, please you go and check out the tax relief. You can Google it, tax relief 2021 Malaysia. Please put that Malaysia. You don't want to wrongly refer to tax relief of Hong Kong or Singapore or Australia or Indonesia for that matter. All right. So, listeners out there, if you are already referring to that, and if you want to ask any question to Miss Joan Ong, please, get into our chat group and write down your question, any question that we can get Miss Joan Ong to clarify to you. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next question. Joan, tell us, what are the receipts that you should start compiling from now? It's 1 month away, okay, before end of the year. Okay, what are the receipts that you should be compiling for now? I'm sure it'll be different for salary earners and business owners. So, yeah.
Okay, like you say, salary earners and business owners, actually tax relief apply for both type. Okay, it's a set of relief for everyone, for each taxpayer. Yeah.
Okay.
So this set of tax relief apply to everyone. So let's say if you're in a salary earner, every year you get your EA form from your employer. They will give you a form for you to declare your tax. So from that amount of total income, then you go on to reduce it with this tax relief. As for a business owner, you have to first calculate your accounts. You need to know the profit, right? From the profit, then only you knock it down further with all these tax relief. So this set of tax relief is applicable to all taxpayers. Yeah. So for you and for me, Nick, you and me, we apply the same tax relief, this same set. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
So before you go on to get receipts, you have to first know each category, what are the types of documents that you need.
Okay, so normally for salary earners, all they could think of the receipt is like their book purchases. All right, that comes under lifestyle, right?
Yes.
1,500 ringgit, right?
Yes, 2,500 is one big category
One big category.
called
Okay.
lifestyle.
Previously, those days it used to be 1,000 ringgit, but now they have made it to become 2,500
Merge
ringgit.
it. Merge it.
They merge it. It also include your internet bills,
And your
right?
gym
And your
membership if you go for
membership.
fitness.
Yeah, all those lifestyle. But there is another 2,500 ringgit additional that the government give because of the MCO, right? For purchases
Yes,
of
yes.
gadgets.
Yes, from June 2020 onwards lah. And then now they extended it, right? So
extended.
if you buy on top of the lifestyle 2005, more than that, because if your books, your gym, your internet already fully utilized at 2,500, you can still have an additional 2,500 if you purchase your handphone, your
Yeah.
computer. So this
Laptop.
is one part that you can plan. For example,
Yeah.
this year you already maximize your lifestyle relief of 2005. Then you purchase a handphone today. So your handphone costs 3,000. Then you also fully utilize the additional 2005. So let's say you want to buy an additional gadget, you might want to push it to next year rather than
Next
buy it
year.
all this year.
Correct. It's
Yeah.
just 1 month away
Yeah,
anyway.
so like you plan to buy two gadgets, maybe you want to space it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess these are the things when we do your full financial planning that you look into all this tax relief to maximize your position, because you wanted to pay lesser not by evading but by planning all these reliefs so that you
Planning,
have
yes.
extra. Just like what Joan said earlier, fail to plan, plan to fail. So this is where you come in. You have to look into all this, and if you are not sure if you can get assistance from someone who can help you with this, I think that would be great.
Yeah,
Okay.
one of it
Oh,
is like the PRS, right? You still have 1 month to go. You can still put your money into PRS, Nick. That is
yes,
your part.
yes, correct,
So
correct.
let's say for
I
myself, I want to open a PRS account. Do I just go to you, get
yes,
you to?
I can also, okay, it's actually PRS. You can also, first and foremost, you can also do it by yourself. All right. But
Ah,
most of the time, right, uh, you are busy with your work. You don't have the time to do it. And that's where, okay, Nick, why don't you just help me? Okay, then I'll just give you the link. Then you just connect with that. You approve the transaction. Then voila, done. Okay.
uh-huh.
So,
It's
yeah, I
easy lah.
think it is easy. I always tell my customers, you feel like, oh, 3,000 is so much this year to put into your PRS. But come next year, if you put that 3,000, thank you, Nick, for reminding me to put that 3,000. It really saves me a lot.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
3,000, if I want to plan my tax for 2021, I want to bring it down a bit further. I put my money, let's say I call you, Nick, just
Mm,
put 300 every month. So it's a total of 3,006. I'll just pay
yeah.
the 3,006 for 2021. Then I
Mm,
claim this tax relief, but maximum 3,000 only.
3,000. Yeah. So not that's
Yeah,
why
then
if you want to do monthly, it's 250. Then you just have 3,000.
correct. But now I only have 1 more month to go, so I just pay the whole
You have to put the
1,000
whole
one
amount
shot.
lah, one shot
Yeah,
3,000, so that you
yeah,
can get that relief. But
yeah.
this is we will always do this with our clients. You see, those who are last minutes will just remember, hey, have you done this? Have you completed this? Hey, I've already reminded you last time you have not done this. This one last month that you get the chance to do it. Okay, would you like to do it or not? So we
Yeah,
always do
to
that lah.
to put the money aside into a private retirement scheme lah. But how's the returns like? So you get
Oh,
returns. On top of that, you
yes,
also get to save
yes.
some taxes lah.
Correct. You get returns, okay, but I don't really yeah, some of the funds can give you a good returns. But I always tell my customers like this. All right. You put your PRS 3,000 ringgit if you are a 28% tax bracket, all right. Upfront already you get 700 ringgit plus.
Hmm.
Right or not? You get 700
Hmm.
ringgit in terms of a tax saving. So that is
Yeah.
already a good return for you. Okay.
Yes.
So exactly, because you save your money already, right? So
Hmm.
the return too, of course, will get you a good fund to put in. Okay, but that is the second part. The whole idea of putting your PRS is actually basically for your tax relief. But
Hmm.
yeah,
But
actually, the
it's
government wants to do this for your, because they find that a lot of EPF contributors has not have enough or not sufficient in their EPF, so that's why they introduced this.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's only until year 2025 lah, the relief.
Yes, yes, they have actually extended this.
Extended
By
already.
right, it
Hope they keep
has
extending, right?
finished last year. I hope. Let's keep our finger crossed because there's a lot, you
Okay.
know.
Right.
Okay, so next, okay, for a first timer, okay, what should they do or what should I do for filing my tax for a first timer?
For a first timer, first of all, you must know your tax number lah. Yeah, whether you already have a tax number, correct? And you can actually check it out online on the Lembaga Hasil. Yeah,
Okay.
you try to go to the
Mm-hmm.
hasil.gov.my, or
Mm-hmm.
you type on Google
Mm-hmm.
bayaran hasil. You just type bayaran hasil like you want to make a income tax
Oh.
payment. Or if you have like your bank account, right? In our bank account, even Maybank, you can pay your taxes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Bayar in LHDN. You can pay your taxes. So in order to pay your taxes, you can punch in your IC,
Mm.
and then the tax number will come out. Ah, this is the one, Kai.
Oh,
Karian,
great.
thank you. You just go to the bayaran hasil
Uh-huh.
as though you want to pay your
Okay.
taxes. You click on FPX, or you want to even bayar, guna credit card also you can bayar.
I
So you see
see.
here, then you write jenis pengenalan, you can choose. You don't
Okay.
know whether you have a tax number or not. Maybe you can
I
use
see.
your card pengenalan. You choose
Okay.
card pengenalan, the first
Mm.
one, and then you type in your IC number. Go to the next page, it will come up. Yeah.
Okay, but this is the thing that if you just start working, normally the registration with the lembaga hasil is being done by your HR, right?
Correct. Correct. The
You don't do
HR
it.
will help you register, or you can do it online. Nowadays, everything online is very easy. You go to
Yeah.
e-daftar, right? You type
But you don't do it
daftar.
personally, right? Because I do remember doing it myself. I think it was
You
HR.
can do it. Yeah. Yeah, your HR also will do it, but nowadays HR may ask you to do it yourself
Oh, okay. All right.
and give
Good
them the
news.
tax number. Yeah,
I
yes,
see.
this e-daftar. You go in, you daftar yourself. It's pretty
Fantastic.
easy.
So,
You can
so
do
for
it.
first timer, if you just started working, you do not know whether you have tax or not, or if you work in a company that don't care, not to say don't care, like cannot. The company must care for this. You see, they can
Maybe they're
be
too busy to
too
do it for
busy.
you.
So you can check it out. This is where you can do the e-daftar.
E-daftar, or you walk into the nearest income tax office, or like the budget that recently announced, right? If all of us
Yes.
were listening to the budget, they say anybody
Mm.
18 and above will automatically give you a tax number.
Oh,
So
okay.
now, before, yeah, save yourself some trouble, go and check whether you already have a tax number available already
Mm-hmm.
by, as though you are paying the tax. You go to bayaran hasil, yeah, type in the IC
Yes,
number,
you
and
put
then
just now lah.
yeah,
The
like
e-daftar.
earlier on, not this one, yeah, earlier
No, this
on.
one, the earlier one.
Yeah, this
Uh,
one, right? You
mm,
just type in your IC number and then go to the next page. Your number will come out. If there is no number, then you will at least know you have no tax number. Then you go to e-daftar. You can daftar
e-daftar.
yourself, or you
I
go
see.
to the nearest income tax department. Back in the
Mm.
days, we actually do it all manual. We
Yeah.
went to the income tax office,
Mm.
get to the counter, press the number, and they will help us register.
And wait for quite some time before they
Depending
help
on
you.
when you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
see.
remember filing my first tax. I did it wrongly, actually.
Oh dear. Oh, okay. All right. So, well, okay. I'm sure
Okay.
as an accountant, you have so much experience. Okay, doing taxpayers, or you yourself as a taxpayer. All right,
For
and you have
myself,
done
every year,
this.
yes.
Yeah, so there are a lot of things that you can share. So I think the listeners out there, if you have any questions that you would like to ask, or Kai, do you have any question about anything about tax that you would like to ask Joan, or you would like to clarify on tax? I think Joan is the person that can help you. She has been doing it for herself, and of course, as an accountant, very teliti, very go through all those details, you see, to make sure that she do it correctly. Okay. So, Joan, what if someone missed a few tax filing? Okay, what would happen? Okay, and what do they need to do?
Well, first of all, if you miss your tax
Mm.
filing, you need to know lah whether are you subject to tax?
I
Yeah,
see.
whether you fall above you're above the bracket lah, whether are you subject to taxes? Because if you're not subjected to taxes, you may not be required if you're new, if you're talking about a new taxpayer lah that hasn't been
Mm.
submitting tax before. So once you're above the tax bracket and you are subjected to pay tax, that means you need to pay tax,
Mhm.
then you should be declaring your tax every year. Yeah, if you missed it, then of course some late charges or penalty will apply.
Mhm.
Yeah. But nowadays, Nick, even if you want to do any financial planning or go for any loan, don't they ask you for your tax filing form as well?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I
Yes.
remember I wanted to hire a domestic helper. They asked me for my borang.
Mm.
Yeah. So to get a domestic helper, I also need my borang. So think about it. If we don't submit our
Mm.
taxes,
Mhm.
we will have some troubles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
In
I agree with
financial.
you. I think one of the main document that is required today, if you want to do any transactions like you just mentioned, getting a domestic helper, or even getting a loan, that you need to produce your borang. Okay, but what
Yeah.
if in the situations where they don't go through that yet, but they have been ignoring it previously? Okay, so what are the things that they can do Do they
Not
do
ignoring lah.
multiple?
Too busy, forgot.
Probably. Talking from experience. Okay. So what are the things that they can do? Do they do like a multiple submission on that very year or what?
Oh, let's say give an example lah. Now it's already
2020.
everybody just submitted their 2020, isn't it? So let's
Yes.
say you forgot to submit 2018,
And
forgot to
19.
submit 2019 and 2020. You can do it all one shot. Yeah. But
I see.
because it's all due already, it's past due, you can
I
do it
see. So you
all
just
one
need
shot.
to do the tax filing all one shot
Ah,
lah together.
balik
You
lah.
just
For the 3 years you file it again.
so that means you just go into the submission for the each
Mm,
year
the same
assessment.
thing,
So you just do
but
same thing lah.
correct. Yes, yes.
And then the release and all those, make sure you have the records lah. You have the bills or whatever with
When you
you lah.
punch in the number, don't
Ah,
just base on your memory. Yeah, you
mm,
actually need to compile the set of documents and refer to it, not just
correct,
punching in. Yeah,
correct.
one thing I think I myself also made a mistake last time. In
Mm,
the olden days when I was still very fresh to tax, submitting my tax, insurance.
mm,
Yeah, not many people is aware that they have to refer to the insurance statement provided by the insurance company. So they
mm.
thought, okay, I bayar 10,000 satu
You
tahun,
claim
10,000.
10,000.
Then you maxed out lah 3,000 for life. Yeah,
Ha,
under the tax relief, you have 3,000 for life and 3,000 for medical. So they just put maximum. But they didn't know that out of that 10,000, Nick, maybe some is savings portion.
yes.
So maybe not the whole
Not
10,000
the
is for
whole.
life
Correct,
or
correct.
medical. So you have to get the statement from the
Mm,
insurance company
mm.
and get the exact amount of how much you can claim for the tax relief for life and for medical.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
Nowadays, all these insurance companies are very canggih already. You can
Mm.
go to their website, okay, go to the customer portal, and you can download your tax relief statement from the respective insurance companies
Yeah,
already.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't need to
Yeah.
go and ask
Everything
them
can do
where is
online.
it. Everything is online that you can just go and access and get it from there.
Register the online account, right? Yeah.
Yes, register the online portal for your customer portal. Then you are able to check your tax statement for the
Mm.
insurance that or takaful that you have paid.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think okay. Any question now, Kai? Is there any question that people wanted to ask? Not yet. If not yet, then okay. Where can they get any information on personal tax filing or any step by step or what are the things that needs to be done? I mean, other than the relief that you have shared earlier, those are the relief that they can refer to. But in terms of information on personal tax filing, is there anywhere that they can refer to what to do
Uh,
first, second, third?
the main website is definitely Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri website lah.
I see.
www.hasil.gov.my. Yeah, most of the things are in that website. But before you can do your online filing, you need your online password.
Uh-huh.
Just like our bank account, we need to go to the bank for the first time to register our online account
I see.
so that we can access online. Yeah, so we need those password in order to access anything online these days, right, Nick? Yeah,
Okay.
bank is the same. I think the EPF, yeah, your EPF you can just access online. Then you were mentioning private retirement scheme is also a account that you can open online. Yeah,
Yeah.
so everything is about online account, right? So
Mhm.
income tax is the same. We have to have our online account. And in order to do so, definitely is a password, yeah, that you have to obtain from the income tax department. So just like doing your bank, the first time you have to go over, get yourself verified, and then you
Okay.
get the PIN. You get then you go home, key in the PIN, and you can punch in your own password exactly like how you do for your banks,
So first
banking.
time you have got to go to the Lembaga
Yeah,
Hasil office, is it?
yes, they
In
need to
order for you
verify.
to, I see. Then only
But
you
now
are able.
in the portal you can ask for PIN number and all that. But better you go there straight lah. Yeah, you go there straight with your IC. They can give you the PIN for the first time. Just like how you do your accounts for banking transaction. First time, of course, you have to go.
So it is recommended for everyone, if it is your first time, to go to lembaga, to the nearest lembaga hasil office nearest to you, all right, to go and get your PIN. What are the things that you need to bring? Just your IC, right?
Yes, yes. Just bring yourself and your IC. Like how you
Of
do
course.
it with the banks.
Correct, correct. So I think that's the first thing, very simple. I feel that a lot of people are so afraid of lembaga hasil. Well, by the name of lembaga also, right? But I always feel like this, okay? As a true Malaysian, as a responsible Malaysians, we need to pay tax, okay? Because if we do not, if everybody wants to run away, okay, but so how is the government going to be able to put to build roads, to build all these facilities for all of us? All right, so to me, as a responsible Malaysians, all of us need to declare tax, to pay tax. All right, so you do it rightfully. There are a lot of reliefs out there that you can get. Go through those reliefs, all right, so that you can save by enjoying all those, maxing out all those reliefs, and end of the day you still pay. Because to me, also as a Muslim, I look at it is our sedekah lah. You see, it's part and parcel of how we contribute back to the society. All right, okay. Do we have a question now? Yes. All right, so we have a question. Okay, for freelancer, how can I do my tax? Maybe for for a freelancer. You mean freelancer who doesn't have salary, is it? Or freelancer? But a freelancer, of course, not have salary. That means they work on their own. So how do they pay tax, Joan?
Freelancer, basically freelancer, what kind of freelancer? Basically, you have to first calculate your income, right?
Mm.
Yeah, you have to do your accounts first. Like freelancer, if you say you're a freelance photographer, yeah, so let's say if you're a freelance photographer, you take pictures for people and then you will issue them your invoice, isn't it?
I see.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
you issue them an invoice, then you collect money or you just give them a receipt. I'm sure as a freelance photographer, you will do some sort of minimum recording, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can record it in your book or you have your invoices. Basically, you need to have all these documents in place. So when you collect your money from your customers, you might not bank in all the money, you might use it. So the bank account, you can it's actually a lower of what you receive. So most important thing is you keep a record of what you earn. Yeah, best of all if you can have a receipt book, right, for your customers, and then maybe they can sign on it that they pay you. So basically it's all about record keeping. You first have to know how much have you collected from your customers, and then you can do a basic calculating that how about your costs. So for you to take a photograph, what are the costs involved? Maybe you need traveling, you need to travel to the destination, so all your bills you can keep it with you. Yeah, and then what else? You need props, maybe. You have all the props, and then your cameras,
Lightings. Yeah.
yeah, your lightings.
The
But be
lightings. Yeah.
careful, some of them are those expensive equipment, right? Maybe you have expensive equipment. So those are not something that you can take it, reduce it against your income as an expense. Because if your equipment is 10,000 ringgit and then you only earn 5,000 for the year, it will wipe out your whole all your income, isn't it? So those big items is actually capital in nature, and you should macam depreciate lah for 5 years
I
or
see.
something like that. Slowly expensive. So this is a bit different. Yeah, but if you have just a normal freelance photography, you go and take pictures, and you hire someone to help you hold the lights and all that. Yeah, when you pay that someone, you also issue a payment voucher or you make records of it.
John, why is
Yeah.
it important for this group of people who are self-employed or a freelancer to make sure that they pay tax? Why is it important?
Why is it important? Like earlier, what we said, nowadays, many things you need your tax form. Yeah. And then if you don't declare your tax, meaning that you don't have income. So how
Correct.
are you going to have your own living? Like moving further, you might want to buy car, you might want to buy houses.
House. Yeah, a property. Definitely. You want to buy a property or cars and you need to
Yeah,
show
maybe
all this.
you need to take some small loans for your business next time. You don't know when you need it. So the form, as you know now, is very important. Yeah.
So I guess this question is trying to address that. Okay, those people out there who are working by yourself, a freelancer, you're self-employed. It is very very important for you first to keep your set of accounts. It can be a simple one, like Joan said just now. Okay, money in,
Simple
money out, the
spreadsheet.
invoices, simple spreadsheets, and whatnot. If you do not know how to deal with it, once you start to grow, please get a chartered accountant like Joan to help you out. So that
Yes.
is
To
easier.
sort
So
out the
that
accounting part. Yeah.
exactly, because if you are a photographer, I tell you, you are not an accountant. Okay, you don't play with numbers. You play with lenses. You go, okay. Well, exactly, because sometimes we thought that we wanted to save costs, but if you have one or two clients, one or two jobs in a month, maybe. But if you start to get, see, big jobs, and then you see, and like what Joe mentioned just now, one day you might need to take some loan. You want to buy a car, you want to take some loan to, yeah, grow your business, and you want to buy a property. You need to justify all this with uh,
Income
your
tax form. Yeah.
income tax forms, right? Okay, so I think that's a good question. Thank you, Kyra, for sharing one of our. Is there any more question? Okay, so if there's no more question, okay, is there any tax calculator online that people can use to calculate their
There are
tax?
many calculators online. There are many of it, but I'm not sure whether to recommend it if sometimes you might get confused because most of the calculator you have to punch in your tax relief, your income, your estimate, and things like that. And some of the online calculator they will ask you many questions. How many kids do you have? Whether do they go to school? So you have to answer a series of questions. So why don't you it's more easier. You refer to the list that we shared or any of the lists online. From the total income you have, right? Let's say you are a freelancer, you calculate how much total that you receive from your customers minus how much of cost the
I
expenses
see.
like traveling and small props or when you hire your assistant. After minusing it, you will get your profit, isn't it? Yeah. So make sure the expenses is for the business, not for your own personal lah. Like you makan-makan, beli present untuk sendiri, beli present untuk kawan, those are not included as business expenses. Don't go and minus anything. Make sure you minus only those things that you use for your business to earn the income in the business. Then you get the profit, isn't it? So after that, you can deduct those tax relief that Kyria has just shown on the page. What are the tax relief? 9,000 for yourself. Let's say you have 2,005, you pembelian computer, and then you have all the gym. You minus, you reduce it, then you will get another amount at the end.
That means
Then you
using this
times it by
calculator, also you must go through those details to make
you have to
sure
go
that.
through all the details as well. So if you merely go into the online calculator and start punching in everything from your memory, then maybe you may get a different picture altogether.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
So you can get
There are
confused
many
sometimes.
calculators. You can go online, just Google it
Uh-huh.
up, tax calculator. Yeah.
I see, I see. Okay, we have one more question. Kai, can you please put on the next question? Okay, for
Minimum income.
freelancer, what is the minimum income per year that will be taxed? Thank you, Hariel, for that question.
Income, like
Yeah.
don't get mixed up between income and profit. Because if you're a freelancer, like I said, you have to minus all the business expenses as well. So let's say you after minusing everything, you still have your tax relief to minus, right? So
Yeah.
let's say if you are having a total of 50,000 or 80,000 per year, after knocking down with all the business expenses, then you knock down further with your tax relief. So it depends on how much you have at the end of the day 30 plus, yeah, 30
Okay.
above 35. It depends on how much of knockdown you get. So it doesn't mean that your mind is set on the top line, your income, because tax is income after knocking down all your expenses and knocking down all your relief. Tax is calculated on the net.
I
Yeah,
see.
so maybe Kai can also show, you can go on the Lembaga Hasil, the hasil.gov.my. You just key in tax rates, individual tax rates.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you will see, as you earn, the higher you earn, the more you are being taxed lah. Right? The
Correct.
percentage go up higher.
Then
So
you in the tax bracket lah.
yeah, the tax bracket.
Okay.
So after knocking down everything, if you still have 30 over thousand or 40,000, you may get taxed already. Because
I see.
depending, like if you have a wife who doesn't work, then you knock down further and you get further rebates. You got
Okay.
discount.
So that means for a freelancer, they don't determine the amount of salary they take on a monthly basis. So what you have just mentioned, that means on a whole year, you have got to calculate your profit after knocking down all those reliefs that you have just mentioned, and that will be the amount that you have got to declare for to pay tax.
Correct. Now you see Kai has just put up this table. You see,
Yeah.
if after knocking down everything, you
Mm.
belong to this category of 35, yeah, then you get taxed at 600 ringgit. Yeah, but it depends. If you're being 35 and below, you still have your tax rebate, a discount on your tax.
Mm.
So basically, if you ask me, at the end of the day, around how much is around this bracket here? About 35, above 35, after knocking down everything, you may get tax.
I see. Okay, so I think for those freelancers out there, for those who are self-employed out there, it is very important for you to keep your accounts. This is
Yes.
the basis, the
Calculate the
important.
profit first, because
Correct.
without the profit, you wouldn't know how much you have.
So, but before going to the profit, Joan, I think the recording of all those
Yes.
invoices, payments, receipts, and all those are very important for
Yes,
you
yes,
to
yes.
justify this. Because if you do not have all this, how to justify? And like what I said
Yeah,
just
so
now,
you record it in your spreadsheet lah. For
yeah,
those who, you don't record it in electronically, you might want to just record it into a book or a
yes,
ledger. Yeah,
yes.
something for you to keep record.
It sounds cumbersome. Okay, so if you find it,
Cumbersome, right?
it is.
Yeah.
So if you feel the sound of it to me already,
It's a habit, Nick. It's a habit.
true.
Yeah,
It's a
because,
habit.
yeah,
But then
it's a habit.
again, if you can get help by paying a little bit, then I would recommend you to do so because that saves you all the hassle.
You
Okay.
see, right, Nick? One thing is, even as an accountant, we cannot plug. We don't have figures to plug if you don't maintain at least basic
Yeah, that's why.
recording.
Yeah, that's why you
So
must
you still
maintain
have
the
to,
basic recording.
the
First,
basic
if you
recordings must be
need
done.
help with the basic recording, then you get an accountant to help you. Okay. Then with
Yes.
the basic recording, then okay, you do not know how to go about with your tax. Also, then okay, you get someone who can advise you based on their experience how on to pay tax, and you get some insights. Okay, get help. All right. So those are the things which I'm trying to say. I think especially those.
Yeah.
I think at least for those who salary earners, some part is already settled. Okay, you just need to check on the tax relief just now on what are the reliefs that you can maximize. But for those self-employed or freelancers,
Yeah,
uh,
self-employed. You're always like, what should I do? But
exactly.
at the end
Okay.
of the day, just get into the habit of doing your basic recording.
Yes. Okay. Good. We have one more question. Yes, Shaira, put on the question. If we are at a loss, can we bring forward to next year? Okay, you are referring to as a person, as a business owner or
Yeah.
freelancer.
Yeah.
How do we answer that, John?
Okay. If you're at a loss, now I have to reiterate the meaning of loss. Many
Okay.
people calculate the profit or loss by putting in everything and making it as a loss. So the calculation of loss, actually, there are rules to follow. Okay, but like I said, your total income you earn from your business minus all your expenses used to produce that income. Macam if you don't travel to that place, how you going to take photographs? So you won't be able to earn that income. So the traveling will knock down the income. So if you really you did make a loss like last year, COVID, right? All the fixed costs, even rental itself, you will get losses already. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you really did make losses, of course you can carry forward. Yes.
Okay. All right. So meaning carry forward, that means you carry forward the loss to next year
Yes. Carry forward to the loss to next year. Then you can
to be
carry up to.
offset against of the income next year.
Yes, but it's not indefinitely, it's not forever. So you think of the logic. If you're a business owner, how many years can you sustain making losses, Nick?
Yeah.
1 year? Two
Or
years? So
2 years
logically,
ago.
are you going to have losses every year? So sometimes if people tell me I make losses every year, I was like scratching my head. Then how are you going to sustain your business if you make losses every year?
Correct.
So
I
if
like what
you're
you said
making 3 years
earlier.
losses,
I like what you said earlier. Fairness. You
yes,
must be
pace and
fair
fairness.
also, right? And then okay, you
Yeah.
cannot be avoiding when other people pay tax and you walk on the road. Hey, other people pay for that and you don't want to pay for that. You must.
Yeah, like other people, declare their honest profits,
Yeah.
but you always declare losses. But you never know. You every year, if you declare losses, then you start to think how many business can sustain more than I give you 3 years. Can you
All right.
sustain more than 3 years? Every year make losses. Then where's your money coming from? You take loan. Yeah, some business owner maybe they go and take loan to cover
But
up.
take note
Then you
also, you
continue.
must show your borang, right? Your
Mm.
right. So you must show your tax
And you
forms.
be careful as well. You want to take loan, people see that, wow, the banker will see you're making losses. How am I going to give you that loan?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
so don't be one-sided on this lah.
Okay, I hope we have answered your question, Shahira. Thank you for the questions. If you have any more questions, listeners out there, you can always text right in our chat and ask Miss Joan Ong here. Okay, Joan, for Muslim, should they pay zakat or should they pay tax?
Actually, when you pay zakat, you can directly offset against your tax, right? So
Mm,
it's either or, isn't it, Nick? And
yes.
then whether you pay zakat or pay tax is you're paying to a different pocket, to a
Okay.
different person.
Okay.
You pay zakat to tabung haji, isn't it?
To the
Yeah,
lembaga to zakat lah, the respective
lembaga
states.
zakat. Yeah, and
The
then you
zakat,
pay the
zakat
tax
Selangor
to
can go to
lembaga
zakat
hasil.
Selangor.
So you're paying to different pocket. And the pockets that the funds is being utilized is for different purposes, isn't it?
But
So
one I'm not really sure on the purpose. But what I always tell my clients that okay, because for both they have their own reliefs. Zakat
yes.
will have their own set of reliefs as well. Tax will also have their own set of relief as well. But the thing is,
Mm-mm.
if you pay zakat and you overpay, you will not get back your money. You will not get
If you
zakat
yeah, it's
refund.
up to you to overpay, isn't it?
No such thing as zakat refund. However, if you pay tax and you overpay, you pay too much, then you get
You can
tax
get a
refund.
refund. Yes.
Okay. Then my client will say, good lah, I want to pay zakat more. I want to be more pious. You see, I said it's like this. If you want to look at it from religious point of view, okay, let me tell you, there are a lot of other ways that you can do to get more uh, pahala. Okay,
Yes, that's the word
than
I'm
just paying
thinking.
zakat.
There's one word,
Ah,
pahalo, yes.
you see, but you see what I'm trying to address is okay from financial planning perspective. You have a lot of life priorities that you wanted to achieve. Okay, so you wanted to make sure whatever money that you pay, you want to maximize so that you are able to achieve all your life priorities. Don't just because you want to offset whatever tax, then you pay all to zakat. I think that's a better way of you can doing it lah. Like what I said, if you pay tax over too much, then you get back your money. The government will refund the money to you. So I think that's something which
So this question, that's why I said it's for different understanding, different purpose, and I think you're paying it to fulfill different matters.
I always say that if it is the pahala that you are looking for, I think there are a lot of organizations that you can also pay to them and still
If you pay
get
donations, yeah,
donations that you can get tax relief as well. All
can,
right. And
yes.
the whole idea is you want to maximize the cash that you have in planning all your life priorities. Okay.
Yes.
It's
Go back
already
to that quote, isn't it? You must plan. Everything
correct.
is planning.
Yes, everything is planning. If you fail to plan, that means you plan to fail. All right. So plan
Yeah.
to fail here is actually you are looking at the whole thing holistically. You must look at it holistically. Okay. Tax is part and parcel of the whole thing because anyway, as either salary earner or a business owner, you cannot run away to tax. I remember, I must say this: tax is next to death. Something.
I remember my lecturer saying this. One thing,
Yeah,
there's in life, there's two things for certain: death and taxes, right?
correct, correct.
Even though if we pass away and our name, we are still earning income,
Yes,
you still have to
yes,
pay income tax.
yes,
But
yes.
of
So we
course, you are
don't.
no longer around to pay the tax, but your administrator
So
or
we
your
don't want
executor,
our
your
kids
next of
or
kin will have to pay.
curse us, for living with the tax payment. So we don't want that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You leave it to those that is living to pay your
Yeah,
tax.
so
Lah.
unfair.
Yeah.
Okay, Joan, one last question. It's already 9:27. Okay, where can we
Time
get more
flies. Yeah.
insights or more information on what to do? Say more information about tax, more tips. So where can we get some information on this?
One thing nowadays, everything we ask Mr. Google, isn't it, Nick?
Yeah.
We can find basically anything on Google, but I always will refer to the hustle.gov.my. That's
I
the
see.
most reliable one because other places you might refer to, I don't know what will you be ending up
I
referring
see.
to,
I see.
but
I
you
see.
can also refer to write-ups or publication issued by the bigger accounting firms. But it's very comprehensive. It's too heavy that part. So yeah, you go on to the hustle.gov.my to get any information there.
All right. So if they want to ask you anything, can you share your email address, Joan?
Sure, sure. I'll share it with you later.
We can write
Now?
down there. Maybe we can get Kai to put there. Okay, your email address. So if you have any questions to Joan, you can email to Joan.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, so in the meantime, so those out there, if you want to experience talking to a licensed financial planner, you can also scan the QR code there, all right, and get a free financial pulse, okay, and get a free consultation with no strings attached, all right. So you can scan the QR code if you want to talk or you want to get experience to talk to a licensed financial planner. So you get the email address there, Kai. You can put there for whoever would like to ask Joan more. Okay, Joan,
But
thank you
one
so
thing
much.
is I may not be responding that fast, so
Yeah.
yeah, bear with me.
Okay, so it is that busy time of the year anyway, so you can try your luck. Okay, uh, talk to Joan. Okay, so any last word from you, Joan, for our show tonight?
Well, I think we covered most of it, Nick. Yeah. So basically, like I said, every year we have to do our taxes, so might as well start getting familiarized with it. Yeah,
Mhm.
because many of us we are so busy, we just neglect it. Oh, never mind, I'll think of it later. But we have to start somewhere. Get familiarized with all this first.
Okay, I guess it's very important. Remember that people always say tax and death are two things that is certain in your life. So whatever it is, you have got to plan for it. Otherwise, you are just planning to fail. All All right. So thank you so much, Joan, for joining me tonight in the Financial Doctor Show. Really appreciate your effort and your time and also your contributions for tonight's show. So to those listeners out there, thank you so much for joining me. Okay, I hope we will be able to see you guys again the next 2 weeks with another topic that I will bring. Okay, so thank you and selamat berhujung minggu. Take care, everyone. Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Financial Doctor Show.